Now available in paperback and coming to Kindle Unlimited. John Haynes, Dark Succubus. The man who rules the world is tempted by a sultry succubus in this all-new John Haynes series adventure. Get John Haynes, Dark Succubus in paperback or pre-order on Kindle Unlimited today. When it comes down to these beta males, they are extremely dangerous. And an incident in San Diego shows how extremely dangerous these beta males are, and is a textbook case that I talk about in my book, The Man Crisis. Now, your Marcos Antonio Icarta, a 23-year-old man who lived in Fresno, decided that because a 18-year-old single mother had rejected his advances, that he got so upset that he decided to take out a pistol and shoot at the car this woman was in while she was leaving the residence to get away from him. And as a result, a 10-month-old girl, the daughter of that 18-year-old single mother, wound up getting shot in the head and now is in critical condition. And when I take a critical examination of Marcos Antonio Icarta's alleged behavior, it fits right within the spectrum of violent behaviors I talk about in my book, The Man Crisis. Because when it comes down to these beta males, they can participate in a spectrum of violent behaviors, from a screaming fit all the way ranging up to horrific acts of violence like attempted murder, or even mass shootings if they can't get their way. And the reason why these men act out this way is due to the way they have been raised in gynocentric environments like single mother households or households with very weak fathers, because in those environments, men like your Marcos Antonio Icarta are coddled by their mothers. And because they are coddled by their mothers, these men never learn the discipline and resolve to learn how to deal with things like rejection. And because they can't deal with rejection, this is why they lose it and participate in a spectrum of violent behaviors. Because when I take a further critical examination of your Marcos Antonio Icarta's behavior, it is the behavior of a beta male and a simp. Because when it comes down to beta males and simps, they will go out here and try to make advances on single mothers, because these men have extremely low self-esteem. And because they have low self-esteem, they don't think they can get with the other women out there who have high social marketplace value. So they go out here looking to scavenge the bottom of the barrel, trying to pursue single mothers, believing they can get an easier chance at getting a woman to say yes, and they won't have to deal with the rejections of many women saying no. And this woman, who was a mother, said no to your Marcos Antonio Icarta 4 times during that gathering. Unfortunately, because your Marcos Antonio Icarta was a beta male, he did not hear the word no, and he thought that because she was saying no to him, that if he asked again, he might get a chance at her saying yes. So he's used to pulling this tactic with his mother. However, in the world of dating and romance, this doesn't work. You keep going and asking the same woman the same question over and over and making advances on the same woman over and over. This is not going to work, because when it comes down to women, once a woman says no, you have to charge her to the game and move on. Unfortunately, Marcos Antonio Icarta didn't get that memo, because he didn't have a father in his life to teach him about how to pursue relationships with women or how to approach women. Because as I read the article where they talked about this man and his alleged approaches, he was going in here trying to pursue this single mother, first by taking her hand, and when she pulled away, he didn't register him that she wasn't interested, and then he tried to sit her on his lap. which was, as I saw it, extremely creepy and extremely disturbing, because this man was escalating his behavior from a simple advance all the way up to a sexual assault. And as this woman, after dealing with this man trying to assault her, was trying to leave the residence with her baby, what this man decided to do, because he was so caught up in his emotions regarding her, was he decided to go and take out a weapon and then shoot it at the car she, her mother, and the child were leaving in. And as a result, the 10-month-old little girl wound up getting shot as a result and is now in critical condition. And this is all because this beta male could not control his emotions, he could not control his sexual urges, and he had not learned the male life skills about how to deal with rejection, how to deal with women saying no to him, and how to just charge a woman to the game who is not interested in him. So this man, because he did not get the male life skills he needed, now is going to be is now sitting in a county jail awaiting trial for attempted murder, and possibly will not be getting out of prison for the next 25 years or so, all because he couldn't deal with the fact that a woman told him no, a woman rejected him, and a woman just wasn't interested in him. And this whole situation could have been averted had this man learned male life skills, male survival skills, and he could have probably avoided this whole thing, because a man who learns male life skills, male survival skills, and learns from other men develops the self-esteem and self-worth out here, not to go out here and knows how to take a woman saying no to him, and understands that it takes a lot of no's to get to one yes, and you don't keep asking the same woman over and over again in the hopes of getting yes out of her the way you would nag your mother over a snack pack pudding, because that approach does not make you look like a man. It makes you look extremely pathetic, and if you look extremely pathetic, then women aren't going to see you as sexually attractive, nor are they going to see you as a man they need to take seriously. So this Marcos Antonio Acarta, at 23 years old, has destroyed his entire life, all because he wanted to get the attention of a single mother, and he wanted to make advances on a single mother, showing how little self-esteem this man had, how little self-confidence this man had, and how low his self-worth was, because any man with a sense of self-esteem and self-worth, he would not be out here going to gatherings trying to make advances on single mothers. He would be out here making advances in his career, making advances to build himself up. And as he's making these advances to build himself up, he will find women who will see him as attractive, and he will find women who he doesn't need to chase, but women who want to follow his lead and want to be a partner with him in a relationship. If you want to learn more about the deeply dysfunctional and deeply troubling behavior of men like your Marcos Antonio Acarta, you can pick up my book, The Man Crisis, on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle formats, and you can also pick up The Man Crisis on Smashwords, Barnes & Noble, and the iBookstore in electronic formats as well. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.
Now available in paperback and Kindle Unlimited, The Man Crisis. Learn why so many men are struggling to find their way in an increasingly gynocentric world in The Man Crisis. Get your copy of The Man Crisis in paperback and Kindle Unlimited today.